Java 2 Micro Edition, that is J2ME. Java 2 Micro Edition is a set of technologies and specifications developed for small devices like mobile phones, pagers, and set-top boxes. Java programs running on such devices are called midlets. A midlet is represented by inheriting and instantiating the javax.microedition.midlet class. JVM that supports for mobile phone is KVM, that is Kilobyte Virtual Machine. Let's move to the other slide. The J2ME architecture also allows for the exclusion of parts of the JEC platform such as Java language components and Java libraries. This enables a midlet to run within the constraints of the limited resources available on micro devices. J2ME is divided into configurations, profiles, and optional APIs which provide specifications for different groups of mobile devices. It specifies features such as the required virtual machine, a strict subset of JEC APIs, as well as additional APIs that may be necessary. Let's move to the other slide. In this slide, we are going to talk about the MIDP technology. MIDP technology is based on Java 2 Micro Edition and Connected Limited Devices Configuration (CLDC) by Sun Microsystems. CLDC is one of the two configurations of Java 2 Micro Edition. It is a foundation of the Java runtime environment targeting small resource-constrained devices such as mobile phones, PDAs that have less than 512 kilobytes of memory. MIDP is designed for creating applications and services to be run in small network connectable handheld devices like mobile phones. MIDP applications are called as MIDlets, that is midlets. MIDP compatible devices must satisfy some hardware and software requirements. These requirements make it possible to use a common MIDP API on all devices. The device itself can be a mobile phone, PDA, or any other handled devices. Let's talk about the hardware and software requirements for MIDP technology. Hardware requirements for MIDP technology is memory, display, and network. Memory should be 128 kilobytes for MIDP components and 32 kilobytes for Java runtime. When we consider display, the screen size should be 96 into 54 pixels and color depth is 1 bit, and finally aspect ratio is 1:1. Network includes two-way, wireless, and limited bandwidth. And when we consider software requirements, it includes device must have a kernel and there is a read and write mechanism. One other mobile application is mobile phone game. Game is an interesting feature in all mobile phones. There are situations where some people tend to buy mobile phones because of the games installed in those phones. Before describing the mobile phone gaming, first we'll go through the history in brief. The first pre-installed mobile game was the Snake, introduced in 1997. Even that is only for some selected Nokia versions. Early mobile phone games were installed in the phone itself, cannot be removed or copied off. But nowadays you can just download a mobile game through the phone and play. Most of the games are not inbuilt. Downloading facility is provided to the user so that they can play any game of their choice. Older mobile phone games are not so popular because they were not animated or colorful as newer ones. The phone's hardware was not suited to high color screens or sounds. Games were usually animated with black squares. Therefore, the users are not very interested in playing those games much as playing games nowadays. Let's move to the other slide. These are the limitations in game development. There were some difficulties that the developers of mobile games had to face in developing games. The main barrier is the processing power. Since the mobile is a so small device, the processing power that it can supply is very small compared to that of a computer. Therefore, when developing a mobile game, the developers always has limit to a small processing power. Another barrier is the lack of controllers. A mobile phone has only the default keypad as a controller for anything, even for a game. Therefore, the game developers have to limit all the controls of the game to the available keys in the keypad. Not only that, a game consumes a large amount of the phone memory. Altogether, the major difficulty the developers faced was to develop games that will satisfy the users by providing sufficient amount of information so that they will tend to buy the game. In this slide, you can see some different games in different three mobile phones. Mobile phone games are developed using various technologies in different platforms. Some of them are Sun's Java 2 Micro Edition, that is J2ME, Windows Mobile and Palm operating system, etc. But the most common platform for game development is the Java platform. Let's see how Java language is used in game development. There are two main interfaces adopted in game development. First one is high-level user interfaces and the second one is low-level user interfaces. In high-level user interfaces, the size of the screen of the game is automatically adjusted according to the mobile phone screen. You just have to design the game interface using the default form in the Java form class. In low-level user interfaces, we can customize the game interface as preferred. But there are one dimension. Created for one mobile phone may not be appropriate for another mobile phone because the phone screen size differ from phone to phone. Low-level user interfaces is the most used in game development. Even though it is easy to develop games using high-level user interfaces, it is not widely used. The reason for that is the game is something which is frequently changing the positions of the objects in the game. If high-level user interface is used every time an object changes its place, it had to be adjusted to the screen that is rendered. Because of this problem, high-level user interfaces are not commonly used. At the beginning, I told that Java is commonly used for game development. Let's see how and what Java classes used for game development. That main Java class used is the game canvas class, which is extended from the canvas superclass. Most of the methods in the game's canvas class are used in the gaming. Most of the early commercial applications developed on the J2ME platform were games. With all obvious interest in gaming and the many device-specific gaming extensions developed by different handset vendors, it was no surprise to anyone that the Java Community Process Group responsible for defining MIDP 2.0 introduced basic gaming capabilities. Let's take a look at the core of those capabilities, the Game Canvas class. The Game Canvas class found in javax.microedition.lcdui.game package extends the venerable Canvas class. As you know, Canvas lets an application draw screens using the low-level user interface API and also receive key and pointer events directly. The shortcoming of Canvas is that it gives the application no control over when a canvas repaints itself. All it can do is request a repaint or over how quickly key and pointer events get delivered to the canvas. This lack of control can reuse action games and others that are speed sensitive to feel sluggish and unresponsive. Game Canvas is designed specifically to fix these weak points. The first thing to remember, though, is that a game canvas is still a canvas, so all the usual behavior is there. The show notify and hide notify methods are still called when the canvas is shown and hidden. Key and point events are still delivered except for certain key events which optionally can be suppressed. In this slide and next 4 slides, we have shown you an example of a simple game developed using the Game Canvas class. In this slide, this example illustrates how to create a simple game using Game Canvas class. In this example, we are extending Game Canvas class. In here also, same coding continues.